As I said in my last video, I ended up rabbiting on about stuff that I think is very important, but which I hadn't intended to talk about when I started. So I better talk about what I intended to talk about in my last video, and strive with all my might and main not to be distracted by my own thoughts. I've got this tendency, as you may have noticed, to go off on a frolic of my own on all kinds of matters. What I wanted to say was this. In the comment section, I've had people who say, born-again Christians, who say, a born-again Christian said, and her logo is a black cat. I've had to unsubscribe from various Catholic channels since October the 7th. That's 2023, when the Hamas cut through the fence in Israel and all kinds of things happened. I've unsubscribed from lots of Catholic channels since then because they're hateful. I won't say this person's name because it'd be like doxing her, wouldn't it? It would be nice. But you, and I feel proud. Am I sure I feel proud? She says, nonetheless, you have driven me to hatred of you. I've achieved something these other guys didn't achieve. Then there's another born-again Christian whose logo is an Israeli flag, or part of his logo is an Israeli flag. And he got put in solitary confinement by YouTube, where I have to review the thing to see whether I want to have it posted, because it's so intemperate. And one of them was, well, he just used bad language, foul language occasionally. But these things make you think about what born-again Christianity is doing to people. Like we say, when you become a Muslim, you're often worse than before you became a Muslim. You'd better be an atheist. You'd be a better human being if you were an atheist. We can say with born-again Christians, before you were a born-again Christian, you were probably relaxed with people. You were okay with them. You didn't call them demons and all this kind of stuff. So has born-again Christianity made you a better person? And I got into saying, I got distracted, that what it is, Islam, as an example, it was born as a reaction to the Catholic faith of the Eastern Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic faith of the Eastern Roman Empire. I'll assert that's what it was. The emperor's attitude towards the popes demonstrate that, and the patriarch's attitudes to the popes demonstrate that. So the Quran is full of hostility to Christianity, full of it. The very religions, raison d'etre, is to put down Christianity. That's Islam, because it comes out of Catholicism. Yes, it's a heresy of Christianity, and Christianity is Catholicism. And even if you disagree, the Christianity of the days of Muhammad was Catholicism. So it's a Christian heresy. Totally functioning as an enemy of the Christian faith, because it came out of us. So now, born-again Christians, you can't disagree with that. Sure, you acknowledge a lot of that. Well, your religion is called Protestantism. You don't like me saying that. If I mention Martin Luther, John Calvin, Ulrich Zwingli, you probably won't like me saying that, because you're saying just Bible believers. These guys made mistakes, etc., etc. But your religion did not exist 500 years ago. You say, oh yeah, it's in the Bible. Listen guys. You just bring up early church writers that support your key doctrines. Show how there was this multiplicity of this consensus amongst early church writers that salvation is by faith alone, that the Bible alone is your authority. Just get the multiplicity of early Christian writers. Or say, they're so dumb, and these guys 500 years ago, they had something in the drinking water in Germany and Geneva. Something in the drinking water that made them, boom, a light went off in their heads, and they realised the true gospel, which had been lost for 1500 years. Okay, take that position if you want, but it's my position, which is the only correct position, that your religion comes out of the Catholic faith. And like Islam comes out of the Catholic faith, albeit for historical reasons in a more distorted way, yours comes out of the Catholic faith. And like Islam is a reaction to the Catholic faith, your religion is a reaction to the Catholic faith. Just as Islam hates Christianity and Muslims will kill Christians, You people are the same. Oh, no, no, that's not true. Look at what your people did in the Protestant Reformation in England alone. You destroyed our civilization. I am in a country, I was born into a country in Chester City Hospital, which was denuded of its culture, ripped off from us before we were born, stolen from us before we were born by your people. Your people. Oh, Justin Welby, such a nice man. Rowan Williams, such an intellectual man. The Archbishop of Canterbury, John Sentamu, such a lovely man. Why don't they admit what their forebears did? The theft, the looting, the destruction. Maybe I'll take them seriously if they do that. This is not being angry at the Anglicans. You can't be angry. You can't be angry at the Anglicans. My gosh, they don't believe anything. You can only be angry at someone who believes something. The Anglicans are like a lukewarm cup of tea. You can't be angry at a cup of tea, can you? It's not hot to refresh you, to make you feel, revived. It's not cold so you'll spit it out. It's just lukewarm. I know you're thinking, Jesus saying, I'll spit you out of my mouth because you're neither hot nor cold. But I wasn't thinking of what he said then, but he's right, isn't he? He's right. Though that was more about some Roman baths or some Roman water streams in the place where Jesus said that, the church to which Jesus said that. That's something else. I'm going off on a frolic again. Back. So we see the parallel between Islam and born-again Christianity. By the way, you talk about the Taliban. They're Muslims, aren't they? Destroying everything in Afghanistan. Destroying those Buddhist statues all those years ago. Hey, the Taliban are nothing compared to the English Protestants. Nothing. They didn't get round to doing half what the English Protestants did. Oh, but that was at the beginning. What did the Puritans do? They killed our king, Charles I. Murdered our king. What kind of religion produces that? To murder a Christian king, to bring the country into civil war. No apologies given, no apologies expected. That's the Puritans. But what about, but it's okay, we're not like that now. We weren't like that afterwards. Britain, Catholic Mass could not be said anywhere in the British Empire until the 1830s, I think. And you know me. Patries, no apologies for the British Empire. Well, yeah, some apologies. Insofar as one can apologise for various bad things people do. But in principle, apology for the British Empire? No way. Push off. Don't look to me for an apology. I'll no more apologise for the Empire than I'll apologise for the Inquisition. Never apologise unless you really ought to. So we were under certain disabilities, legally speaking, right until the 19th century. And if you think, that's still a long time ago. Listen, when I was born in this country, over the water, across the Irish Sea, in Northern Ireland, a carved out version of Ulster to give an artificial Protestant majority, so that bit of Ireland would be kept in the United Kingdom and not given, as it should have been, as the whole island was governed as one country, given its independence. No. In that province of Ulster, that British province of Ulster, Catholics had been suffering massive discrimination at the hands of Protestants. Where were the born-again Christians then? Where were the born-again Christians with their love, love, love? Where were they? Saying how wrong this is. You mustn't treat Catholics in this discriminatory way. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But then, of course, that sort of thing can only go on for so long. The Troubles broke out. And you know how bad it was for Catholics under Protestant rule? I love you, Protestants. If you're from Ulster, I love you. You're holding the line in many ways now. But I'm not going to hold back from this. Catholics welcomed the British Army into Ulster. People forget that. 1969, they welcomed them. Because that meant justice, just treatment, fair treatment. Because our people had to suffer the B specials, a Protestant brutal police force. You want to build hatred? Do it by being hateful. But the problem was the British Army was drawn into what was effectively now a mounting civil war, and effectively took sides. To keep the province of Ulster British, it had to take the sides of those who wanted to keep the province British and not allow it to join in a united Ireland. That was the ultimate decision the armed forces had to make. And then we have this process of extreme brutalisation. We have the diplock courts, because you could not put a man on trial in front of a jury because the jury could be intimidated. We have Britain being taken, and most British people won't know this, Britain being taken to the European Courts of Human Rights for torturing prisoners. You know, you put a bag over a man's head, put him in a stressed position, leave him there for ages. This is what we did. I'm a patriot. Britain before all, in a Catholic context. But you do evil, we do evil, it will hit us back hard. And it did. But my point here is, Protestants, well, there was no talk from the born-again Christians then of the injustice to Catholics, was there? All I started to hear when I started going to Hyde Park, do you Catholics... Actually, I'm not sure. I may have done, or maybe before then, because we had the... Yes, of course, because it was before Blair became Prime Minister and we got a final peace agreement. John Major had started the process. Do you Catholics condemn the IRA? Why doesn't the Pope excommunicate the IRA? This attitude is the same now. Do you condemn Hamas? Same now. I don't think it's deliberate. I think it's just stupid. People are so blockheaded. Is there a piece of wood I can bang my head against? Just to illustrate it, in the way Ezekiel had to illustrate things. So, that's... I've done it again, haven't I? I've gone off talking about other stuff. Okay. It's worth stopping here, because this is going to be another shortish video. Because if I then go on to... we're going to do this. We're going to get there. We're going to get there, folks. You might think I'm bonkers. You may say I'm crazy. I can't even get to the point I want to make. I start off at the beginning and I don't get there. But I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. If it takes 20 more videos, I'm going to get there. But this one is going to stop right now and I'm going to start again. There's nothing wrong in failing. You just got to get back up again. Remember that. You can be on the ground, but if you don't try to get back up, that's the problem. So I'm on the ground again, and I'm going to make another attempt. This has been my third attempt to get back up and say what I plan to say. But I'm going to switch this one off right now. And if you watch it, hello, see you again. If you're kind of getting frustrated because you don't know what I'm going to go on about, what I really want to go on about, I apologise. I can't help it. I've got a disability. Apparently so. But I'll see you next time, perhaps.